Hello and welcome back. We will continue reading White Lies: How the South Lost the Civil War, then Rewrote the History. Lie number 8. White people are naturally superior to Black people. White enslavers used the claim of their racial superiority as a justification for the enslavement of African Blacks from the earliest days of slavery in America. This presumption survived the Civil War. The reasoning behind this assertion shifted over time, but the result was the same. By claiming to be superior, whites were able to justify their continuing oppression of blacks. They learned that new excuses could always be found when circumstances changed and contradicted the old claims. Enslavers used religion as any earlier explanation for white superiority. They characterized Africans as savages because they had not practiced the Christian faith. Centuries later, whites needed a new reason to justify their racial views. Descendants of captive Africans had not only adopted the religion of their enslavers, but had proven themselves to be capable craftsmen, brilliant chefs, loving caregivers, clever inventors, and deep thinkers. In these cases and more, Blacks were demonstrating their ability to excel, but even so, many whites continued to see them as inferior. The publication in 1859 of Charles Darwin's landmark study on the origin of species created a new way for whites to justify their superiority. The Pretense of Science. Darwin's book revolutionized the human understanding of biology by documenting for the first time the evolution of the characteristics within various species. Other scientists and social scientists added their own ideas to Darwin's discoveries, including Herbert Spencer, a fellow Englishman. In 1864, Spencer introduced the concept of survival of the fittest, the idea that the superlative individuals would triumph over lesser members in a population. This notion served as the foundation for the now discredited ideas of social Darwinism and eugenics. These beliefs became popular during the closing decades of the 19th century and have remained influential ever since, even though they are not supported by scientific fact. Nonetheless, people have cited them and may still as a scientific proof of the inevitable superiority of whites over blacks, of higher social classes over the lower ones, of physically sound individuals over those with perceived physical and mental disadvantages. Whites in the 19th century went so far as to claim that social Darwinism proved that the black race would inevitably die out. Some predicted this demise would be completed within a few decades. Others misused the idea to suggest that it was useless to try to assist people who were poor or otherwise challenged. They maintained that such individuals were too flawed to be helped. Eugenics built on these mistaken ideas by suggesting that society could improve the human race by preventing people who were judged to be inferior from reproducing. This concept influenced governments, including that of the United States, to adopt policies that later were viewed as sources of shame. Adolf Hitler took such ideas to the extreme by targeting millions of people for murder during the Holocaust. Based on this flawed perceptions of their worth and his determination to remain in power, he singled out European Jews for persecution as well as his political opponents, homosexuals, the disabled, nomadic Europeans known as Roma and Sinti, and other minorities and non-Germans. Despite repeated scientific evidence, To the contrary, including the recent mapping of the genetic makeup of human beings, a segment of the white population in the United States and beyond continues to make claims of Black inferiority as a way to justify its own belief of racial superiority. Today's lie was lie number 8. White people are naturally superior to Black people.